Thank you,
Okay.
Secretary de Lima. Senator Drilon will now ask his questions.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. I hope that my preliminary remarks on the comments of Secretary de Lima is not part of my 5 minutes.
Senate President, you get the privilege, sir. Go ahead,
No,
please.
first, let me thank, in behalf of the committee and on behalf of the Senate, for that academic analysis of the legal framework on the application of our penal laws in the areas of conflict, as explained by Secretary de Lima. But I would emphasize that this is an academic analysis because there are a lot of factual issues here that we're trying to unravel through these hearings. We'll consider the views of the Secretary when we craft the report. I am sure that there are a lot of precedents in international law which we can cite in this particular issue. And other than that, there are experiences in other states which have gone through similar processes and where the classic conflict between application of laws and the political issue of the peace process has been resolved to the satisfaction of every player. But obviously, we do not have time, and this is not the forum by which we can discuss all of these issues. But Mr. Chair, Madam Chair, there is just one issue that I would like to put on record that I am not in agreement. And this is the assertion of the Secretary of Justice that the non-compliance with the terms of the peace agreement, including coordination in case of law enforcement exercises, coordination with the MILF, would expose our law enforcers to individual administrative or even criminal liability. I think that view would send would have a chilling effect on our law enforcers because under that theory, they can be criminally charged if they do not coordinate with the MILF. I don't think that we can agree with that. In this case, the SAF went to this area in order to enforce a warrant. They were enforcing the law. I cannot agree that our SAF will be subjected to criminal liability because they did not coordinate with the MILF, which is part of the coordination of which is part of the peace process. I cannot accept that proposition. But having said that, Madam Chair, may I now proceed to ask...
Madam Chair, just a quick
well, this is not time for the debate.
response.
You have expressed your views, Madam Secretary. As a member of the Senate, I have expressed my views. Let it remain on record, and at the report, we will be disposing of this. Otherwise, we will be debating here, Madam Chair.
Madam Chair, I just want to obviate any misinterpretation of what I stated.
I think, ma'am, you can submit your position
Yes.
paper. The Senate President has spoken regarding this.
So, may I now address my questions to the MILF representative? Yes. You mentioned that the MILF will now return the firearms. Is that correct? Can you just state that again?
Yes, sir.
Now, how many firearms are there that to be returned?
We still don't have the exact number of firearms, but in few days we would know exactly the number, Your Honor.
And would this be a complete inventory of the firearms seized in that encounter?
We still could not say yes to that question, sir. We are still, the leadership is still in the process of accounting whatever we have in the MILF. Hindi po namin alam kung ilan ho talaga at ilan ho.
What about the other equipment like night goggles, night vision goggles?
Yes, it's in the statement po what all, Your Honor po, excuse me, all retrievable personal effects that we have, we will.
I'm sorry. What about the other than the firearms? What are the equipments?
Your Honor po, I really don't have the inventory as of now, but what stated it clearly by Chairman Iqbal is all retrievable personal effects.
All retrievable effects, personal effects,
Opo.
firearms, equipment, etc. Yes, Secretary Rojas wants to.
Secretary Ross was raising his hand a while ago. Yes, Secretary,
Just,
you recognize, sir?
Just some information. There is a inventory, or there is a list of the equipment with serial numbers of the kits that were issued to every one of the SAF operators who were present in this engagement. So we will submit that to the committee.
So we can check as against this list. We can check the equipments and firearms to be returned by the MILF.
What about the personal property, Secretary Ross, of our SAF?
It is not a complete listing, but
But you have a partial inventory, at least,
yes,
of the same.
of the person, particularly cell phones. What other personal effects they brought with them would be difficult to ascertain. But certainly the government issued equipment, there is a complete such list.
Thank you, Secretary Ross.
Anyway, we can do nothing at this point but rely on the commitment that all retrievable equipment, personal belongings of our 44 SAF personnel who died in this encounter would be returned to the government. Is that a correct assumption of the?
Yes, Your Honor. Those that's with the MILF po.
I'm sorry.
Yes, Your Honor. All those that with the MILF po, we will.
And a reasonable expectation would be when? I'm not asking you to commit to a specific date, but like next week or next 10 days. When can this be done?
Yes, Your Honor. In the letter, it says in a couple of days, but at the level of the mechanisms, we will also work it out with the CCCH, ANJAC, and the FISMAN. We'll do our actions also on the matter.
I'm sorry, but your answers are very evasive. That is why we would have wanted a more responsible MILF official to be here who can commit the MILF. But, the way you have, I'm sorry to say that the way you have answered it, it has been very evasive, and I can understand that because you're not authorized to say anything here. But it's a little bit frustrating for us to receive those kinds of answers. But in any case, we just have to live with that, and unless you have anything else to say, we can proceed with the other questions. Is there anything else from the MILF that? What about the surrender of Usman? Can there be a commitment on that point?
Your Honor, Madam Chair, I cannot answer that question, but we will raise this with the leadership of MILF.
The President has appealed to the to your group to help government, or at least to surrender Usman as part of the confidence building process. We in Congress already finds difficulty in passing the BBL because of this incident. While we are committed to peace, we must go back and build confidences. And among those that would be critical to rebuild the confidences between the government and the MILF is the matter of the surrender of Usman, the matter of the return of the equipment, the personal effects and equipment of the SAF, which were taken during the encounter. So I hope that you can deliver to the MILF hierarchy the need to rebuild trust between the two parties, and we cannot do this alone. You must cooperate, and you can surrender Usman to the authorities. He is the cause of all of these problems. Now, we also hear a lot of rumors that the firearms are now being sold in Mindanao. How valid is this? Have you heard this? That the firearms captured are now in the market. Would the MILF know anything about this?
We are the MILF is doing its internal accounting on this matter po, at we have no we also heard of that, but we cannot confirm. We cannot say anything about this.
You have heard. Have you investigated this as a partner in peace?
Yes, sir. We are looking into that, and we will act accordingly po. Your Honor, thank you.
You are looking. What have you looked? What have you found so far? Is there basis for these stories that firearms are being sold?
Your Honor, that's still a subject of the Special Investigation Commission of the MILF. Your Honor.
All right. Madam, I will reserve my right to ask other questions. At this point, I'll give the chance to my other colleagues to raise questions on our resource persons.
Thank you, Senate President Rolon. Next in line is Senator Binay, who yielded her time to Senator Hernasan. Senator Hernasan, sir, what's your pleasure?
Mr. Chairman, I would like to thank Senator Binay for her trust and graciousness, but I've decided to take my turn in the next round. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Senator Hernasan. Next in line is Senator Marcos. Thereafter, for the information of our colleagues, Senator Recto, Senator Aquino, Senator Pimentel, and then Senator Cayetano. Senator Marcos, you're recognized, sir. Good morning. You may proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I would like to direct my first questions to General Napeñas. Again, as I explained yesterday, I would like to focus my inquiries on the command and control on both sides of the peace panel, and and the coordination or lack thereof during the Mamasapano incident. So, General Napeñas, in the PNP interim report that was given us by Director Magalong yesterday, there are enumerated 10 different operations, PNP operations against Marwan. And from your testimony yesterday, you, in some way or another, you were involved in all of these operations in different positions in the hierarchy of the PNP. Am I correct, General?
Yes, Your Honor.
In those operations, were there coordinations with the MILF? Was there information sent to the MILF that you, the PNP SAF, were going to conduct these operations against Marwan?
The coordination with the MILF was done time on target, as just like what we did with the AJAG, through the AJAG, of course, Your Honor. Because of the provision of the joint communique signed by the MILF and the GPH in Kuala Lumpur in 2002, stating therein that except for operations against high priority targets, a list of which shall be provided by the GPH panel to the MILF panel, the AJAG shall inform the GPH and the MILF CCH at least 24 hours for the conduct of AP PNP operations in order to allow sufficient time for the evacuation of civilians and to avoid armed confrontation between the GPH and the MILF. There is an exception in this part, Your Honor, that this is a high-value targets being pursued by the Special Action Force at this time.
So this was the interpretation that you applied as well in the latest Oplan Exodus of January 2015.
Yes, Your Honor.
So there has never been a problem because meron dito sa listahan ng operation, meron naman yung Operation Pitas, yung Operation Smart Bomb, yung Operation Oplan Cyclops, lahat ito ay na-execute. So hindi naman nagka-problema kagaya ng nangyari sa Mamasapano.
There was no problem.
Last January.
Yes, Your Honor.
There was no problem then.
There was no problem during those.
So it was your understanding that the MILF was cognizant of this exemption that is laid out in Section 6 of the Joint Communique, implementing guidelines of the Joint Communique of 6 May 2002. So
Yes.
this is what you were invoking.
Yes, Your Honor.
And so in the view of the PNP SAF, there was no need to make that coordination. Not even before, kahit time on target.
In the operations plan that we did for the Oplan Exodus in Mamasapano, it's time on target to inform the AFP AJAG for that matter, Your Honor.
Oh, sige. Again, from the testimony that you gave yesterday, you said that the go ahead for Oplan Exodus of January, you took on your own initiative. I'm trying to. Is it within your command, within your powers as the director of SAF to go or green light a mission, or do you have to get clearance from higher ups, from the chief PNP, for example, or even higher?
Your Honor, I'd like to cite the situation that the two occasions that I joined Police Director General Purisima for the mission update with the President. During those two occasions, I was never given any guidance that the mission is a no-go. In the same manner, that maybe there are some people who would like to hear if there was really a direct order or a direct approval of the President for the mission to go. But there was none. That was really the truth. But then, yung pong dalawang okasyon na nagpunta ako doon, it could be interpreted on my part that there was an implied or a tacit approval for the mission is a go, for the operation is a go. Considering na wala pong sinabi sa akin, yung una, yung pangalawa, walang nakarating sa akin na guidance or anuman na order na hindi na ituloy yung operation, Your Honor.
Ang tinutukoy mo, General Napeñas, yung dalawang pagkakataon na binigyan mo ng briefing si Pangulong Aquino at saka si General Purisima, both of which occurred, I think, on Palace grounds, on the Palace grounds.
Yun po ang aking tinutukoy, Your Honor.
So you are saying that at no point during those meetings were you told, General, medyo ipaubaya muna natin yan. Let us plan better, or hindi maganda yung plano ninyo, or anything like that. Let us stop planning, or let us defer this operation. Walang ganong sinabi.
Wala po, Your Honor.
So you interpreted the silence on the matter as consent on the part of your commanders.
Yun po, Your Honor. Yes. Your
Okay,
Honor.
let us get back now to the role that was played by General Purisima in this.
Can I just have one question
Yes,
on
yes,
that?
of course.
Before
I
we
yield the
just-
floor to the Senator.
In other words, General Napeñas, at no point did the President tell you to proceed.
Yes, Your Honor. There was no direct order from the President telling me to proceed or directly telling me that the mission is approved on that matter.
Thank you very much.
So,
if-
just to again further clarify that, so how long is the briefing? Gaano katagal? How detailed was the briefing that you gave?
The
Ilang-
mission update at the firing range took only a few minutes, Your Honor. However, at the Bahay Pangarap, it took more or less 15 to 20 minutes. Your Honor, if I may add, if there was a direct order from the President that the mission is a go, that would have been a very good opportunity for me and a situation where I could break the chain of command, considering that the order would have come from the President, Your Honor.
So essentially, there was no guidance one way or the other from either General Purisima or the President to defer, to delay, or to continue and to implement the OPLAN.
There was none on that
There was none.
issue,
There was
Your
no
Honor.
guidance one way or the other. Thank you. Napag-usapan na rin yung breaking of the chain of command. Nung sinabi sa'yo ni General Purisima, ako na ang bahala sa dalawa, Ande, wag mo munang sabihin sa dalawa ako nang bahala si kay General Katapang. Is that correct? That was what he told you.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Kung alam mo na suspendido si General Purisima, ba't mo sinundan yung kanyang payo? Kaya sinasabi niya ngayong payo, but you obeyed it as if it was an order. Why? Why did you do that?
Your Honor, hindi ko po sinunod yung order ni General Purisima or yung advice niya. However, I go back yung sa sinabi ko kanina, Your Honor, that with the 2 occasions na nagre-render ako ng mission update, I took that one as there was an implied or tacit approval that the mission is a go. And in those 2 occasions, wala pong sinabi sa akin na hold, i-defer, or anuman na pagpigil na maituloy yung mission, Your Honor.
Okay, let me now direct some questions to General Purisima. General Purisima, why did you say this? Why did you give this advice, as you like to characterize it, to General Napeñas na wag mo munang sabihin sa dalawa, ako nang bahala kay General Katapang?
Yes, Your Honor. The reason why I have said that is stated already yesterday, that it is in the design of their plan to inform everybody time on target, Your Honor.
Pero yung plano galing sa kanya, bakit kailangan mo ipaalala sa kanya yung sinabi niyang sa iyo na parte ng plano?
Yes, Your Honor, because
O ganito na lang, this came, you told him this after you met privately with the President. Ito bang pinag-usapan ninyo?
No, Your Honor.
Anong pinag-usapan ninyo?
It's something personal, Your Honor.
Okay, so this was not the subject of the discussion. This was not cleared with the President.
No, Your Honor.
This advice was not cleared with the President.
No, Your Honor.
Very well. Okay, and
Senator Marcos, really quickly, you still have your question time left. But in relation to this, sabi mo, ikaw nang bahala kay General Katapang. Ano pong sinabi ninyo kay General Katapang? Anong ginawa niyong bahala na? Pwede, nandito naman siya, pwedeng matanong si General Katapang. Nag-usap na ba kayo?
Your Honor, ang sabi ko, yung ako nang bahala kay General Katapang is the information to General Katapang, which I did on January 25 at 5 o'clock in the morning, 5:30 in the morning. I texted General Katapang and I tried to call him that the operations was ongoing already in Mamasapano.
General Purisima, so yung coordination, bali yung sinabi mo, akong bahala kay General Katapang, parang sinabi mo sa SAF commander na ako na ang makikipag-usap at iinformahan ko ang AFP dahil akong magsasabi kay General Katapang.
That is for as far as General Katapang is concerned.
Pero hindi mo sinabi kay General Katapang na may Operation Exodus hanggat time on target na, hanggat nagputo ka na, alas 5 nagpuputo ka na eh.
No, Your Honor, I did not say to General Katapang that the Exodus
When did you tell General Katapang that there was such an operation?
January 25, Your Honor.
January 25 was when they jumped off.
Yes, Your Honor.
So you told time on target din ang si General Katapang.
Yes, Your Honor.
So the coordination with the AFP was supposed to have been done by you, and you only did it when the SAF members were already under fire. Am I correct?
Your Honor, prior to that meeting, there was I facilitated also a meeting with the AFP officials in December 19, Your Honor, and they were introduced to each other, and they were the ones coordinating to each other on what they will do. I did not participate on their coordination already, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. But okay, now I would like to know the reason behind. I'm being told that I have to rush. I would like to know the reason why did you feel there was a need to cut out General Espina from the chain of command?
Your Honor, the operation said that it should be time on target for everybody, so I just followed the principle of the time on target.
But this is the commander. This is the acting chief of PNP. This is not only a usurpation of authority. This is also breaking the chain of command, because it's very clear the chain of command is here, and you, as a suspended member of as chief PNP, were issuing orders to keep the acting chief PNP in the dark on a very critical mission. Why did you feel that that was necessary?
Your Honor, I did not give any orders. I gave advice to police.
Nevertheless,
Director
that advice, which we will use for the sake of consistency, that advice was nevertheless followed as an order, because the fact of the matter is General Espina was kept out of the loop. Also, the Secretary of the DILG was kept out of the loop. Why did you feel the need to give that advice?
for operational security purposes, Your
So you
Honor.
do not trust the Secretary of the DILG with this information? You do not trust your own second in command, Director General Espina, the acting Chief PNP, with this information?
Hindi po ganun, Your Honor. Ang nakalasad po sa plano ng PNP SAF ay time on target.
Okay, marami kang pinag-usapan na you were involved in certain you were in a party to the briefing that was conducted on January 19. January 19, your suspension was December 4. Am I correct, General Patricima?
That was December 19, Your Honor.
I beg your pardon, December 19. But you were part of the meeting or the briefing that General Napeñas gave in the palace, January 9.
Yes, Your Honor.
How did you know of this meeting?
The Director of Special Action Force, Your Honor, would like to place a mission update on the President regarding the operation, Your Honor.
So the General Napeñas informed you that he was going to the palace to give a mission briefing.
Yes, Your Honor.
And who told you to attend?
I was guiding them, Your Honor, to enter the...
So you
palace.
attended of your own initiative, basta sumipot ka na lang. Nalaman mo na magkakaroon ng mission briefing at sumipot ka dahil sa palagay mo kailangan kang nandun ka.
No, Your Honor, I accompanied them to the palace.
Okay. When I haven't gotten to the MILF yet, I would just want to ask the MILF some of the sequence of events very quickly, Madam Chairman. I understand. I realize that I may have, but there
So we
has
can
been
have you
a
in the
very
next
large time lag. Maybe I could direct this question to Mr. Ladyasan, who is the chair of ADJAG. And when was the first communication? I'm sorry.
Madam Chair, in fairness to our other colleagues, may we request Senator Marcos to reserve the next round or his next questions on the next round,
Well,
because the others are also...
I feel it is unfair at this point because I've only discussed the chain of command and the PNP and the AFP. The MILF.
Senator Marcos, I can understand that you're
Yeah.
very passionate about it. So are most of us. And I know that we have to get. I wish that we had unlimited time, but also with due respect to our
Madam
other
Chair,
senators. Sir.
I am trying to write a version of the BBL that will work so that this kind of occurrence does not happen again.
And also we are
And
trying
that
to
is-
make them follow the
Very well.
rules, so we should
Well,
set an example also.
May I then, in that case, in deference to our schedule, may I then make the list of questions, give it to the chair, and hope for a written answer from our partners in peace, the MILF and the ADJAC of the MILF. So, would that be acceptable,
Of
Madam
course,
Chair?
that will be most acceptable and appreciated. So let us show them also the example now. Senator Recto, your turn, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Una sa lahat, tatlo ang paksa ng aking mga katanungan. Ang isa sa MILF, at ako'y natutuwa na dun sa sulat na nasabit sa ating kanina dito, na isasoolin ninyo yung personal effects at yung mga barel. Gusto ko lang dagdagan ay sana i-surrender na rin ninyo si Usman. No? Ang unang katanungan ko sa MILF ay ito. Handa na ba kayong sabihin din sa komite dito sa Senado kung sino yung mga commander na responsable dito sa encounter sa Mamasapano sa ating mga SAF fallen 44?
Your Honor, doon ho sa pangalawang punto po, hindi pa po namin masasabi dahil ongoing po yung investigation po ng leadership. And in due time naman po, when Chairman Iqbal would appear, he will answer all of these questions po.
Dalawang katanungan. Bakit ninyo kinupkup si Marwan at Usman? At gaano katagal na ninyong kinukupkup at pinoprotektahan si Marwan at Usman?
Hindi po totoo yung sinasabi niyo po, Your Honor, with due respect, na kinukup po namin ang si Marwan ho at saka si Basit Usman. Wala po yung katotohanan po, Your Honor.
Wala kayong kaalam-alam na si Marwan at Usman ay nandun sa lugar ninyo?
Ang totoo po ay hindi naman po sila stationary at saka always naman na ginagawa namin sa level ng CCCH at saka ADYAG yung cooperations and
So hindi nyo alam na nandun sila, si Marwan at Usman? Yun ang sinasabi.
Hindi po, Your Honor.
Okay. Sa government forces naman, anong ginagawa ni Marwan at Usman dun sa lugar ng MILF at BIFF? At sino ang tinetraining naman nila doon? Pwede ba kayang sagutin ni General Katapang? O di kaya kahit ng officer in charge ng PNP? Dahil sa lahat ng presentasyon ninyo sa Senado, maliwanag maging sa PNP at sa AFP, nandun si Marwan at Usman within the vicinity of the MILF at BIFF. Sa lahat ng presentation na binigay ninyo dito, in fact, hindi tinatanggi at sinasabi pa ng FBI, kung di ako nagkakamali, napatay na nga si Marwan doon sa lugar na yon.
Madam Chair, Your Honor, yung sila Marwan po at saka Usman, they were hunted down in one place and they were accommodated in that area na BIFF. And in exchange, they are being given training.
Sino ang binibigyan ng training ni Marwan at Usman? MILF or BIFF o pareho?
BIFF, Your Honor.
So, they are not training the MILF.
No, Your Honor.
Naniniwala din kayo sa sinasabi ng MILF na hindi nila alam na si Marwan at Usman ay nandun within the vicinity?
We are receiving information but we are not sure.
Pero may informasyon kayo na alam nila?
Paminsan-minsan, Your Honor, we receive information.
Okay. Ganon din ba sa PNP? May duda pa ba kayo na ang MILF ay kinukupkup si Marwan at Usman?
Your Honors, we have reports that he has been in the place since 2002. And granting, for the sake of argument, he is within the BIFF.
Can you make it louder? Yes.
Yes, sir. Granting that he is within the BIFF area, you'll see, sir, the area that was operated on by the Special Action Force is just a few kilometers away.
Okay. So, walang duda sa inyo na kinukupkup ng both MILF at BIFF si Marwan at Usman. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you for that. Walang duda rin ba sa inyo na ang tinetraining nila ay parehong grupo ng BIFF at MILF?
Highly possible, sir.
Highly possible. At walang duda sa inyo na MILF at BIF din ang pumatay sa mga kapatid natin sa SAF?
Yes, sir.
Thank
They
you
were
for
the
that.
ones. Yes, sir.
Ang ibang katanungan ko ay to the government forces again. Una-una siguro kay Peñas. No? Kailan ginawa yung desisyon at sinong gumawa ng desisyon not to coordinate with the MILF? Dahil meron tayong supposed to be nakasunduan eh. Opo.
That was included in the mission planning, Your Honor.
Okay.
From among the members of the mission planning group, composed of myself, the Deputy Director, Special Action Force, the Battalion Commander of the 3rd Battalion, the Battalion Commander of the Rapid Deployment Battalion, our intelligence officers, okay, Your Honor.
So you mentioned both the PNP and the AFP have decided not to coordinate with the MILF.
The AFP is not included, Your Honor. It's only the PNP.
So only the PNP.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you made that decision yourself, being the head of the SAF.
It is a decision that was recommended to the Chief PMP, who eventually approved the operation starting in April 25, 2014. As I earlier mentioned, Your Honor, this is a continuing operations against Marwan and against Usman.
Naunawaan ko po.
Yes, sir.
I'm not making a judgment. Gusto ko na malaman. Okay. Pangalawa, who and when was the decision made not to coordinate with the AFP?
It was during the approval of the operation plan, Your Honor, based on our recommendation as included in the operation plan.
So PNP lang din yan.
Opo, Your Honor.
At it started way back nung maybe until the November, di ba?
November, Your Honor.
Meron, ha?
The November.
Okay. Ang tanong ko naman sa AFP, dahil nung ako'y nakabisita sa burol ng mga pamilyang namatayan sa SAF, ang reklamo nila sa akin ay bakit parang hindi tumulong ang AFP. At base sa presentasyon naman ninyo, mahigit 10 tawag siguro ang nandito na tumawag si Napeñas umaga, tumawag si General Espina, tumawag si Purisima, at para bagang base sa presentation ninyo, 5:30 na ng hapon nung nakapasok yung AFP o nagpaputok man lang kayo ng white phosphorus. Opo.
Your Honors, Major General Pangilinan, Commander of 16th Infantry Division, wala pong katotohanan ang sinasabi na hindi kami tumulong. In fact,
tumulong kayo.
We reinforced,
ang sabi nila
Your
ay
Honor.
parang napakabagal.
Sa tingin ko po, hindi mabagal dahil nung ma-receive ko po ang malaman yung kanilang operations at 6 in the morning, immediately I inquired with all my ground commanders on what was going on the ground. So, I do not have a picture of what was going on because there was no coordination or prior coordination to us regarding the conduct of the operations of the PNP SAF. So,
General, at 6 a.m., did you have already the grid coordinates?
none, Your Honor.
None, Your Honor? At 6 a.m.?
None.
At 6:18 a.m., to be more precise, did you have the grid coordinates?
At 6:18, Your Honor, I received a forwarded message addressed, if may I read?
Please read the text of
The exact text
dated
message.
our time 6:18 a.m. of January 25.
Galing kay Napeñas.
Galing kay Napeñas. Can you read that on the record? Because that text would contain the grid coordinates.
At nasa pahayagan na sinasabi, walang ibinigay na grid coordinates. But
Ito po
base sa
ang-
presentasyon, it would appear that there were coordinates given, yes.
Your Honor, ito po ang eksaktong forwarded message that I received at 6:18. And I quote,
Forwarded from Purisima.
I do not know if it is for General Purisima because I would like to
Read it.
Yes, sir. Quote, for CPNP.
And that is Purisima?
I do not know, Your Honor.
Who sent that Napeñas sent that, right? Yes.
Based on your presentation, the AFP presentation, here on page 13, Napeñas sent this text.
Yes, sir.
So can you read the text?
For CPNP from DSAF. Thus, na-engage SAF troops doon malapit Ilog, 2 kilometers east of Barangay Tucanalipaw, Gold Charlie, 67983-65714, bandang gitna, going to target, sir, unquote. Which I replied, copy.
So the grid coordinates were clearly known to you as of 6:10 a.m., 6:18 a.m.
Your Honor, yes, I know, based on the grid coordinate given me, the location of the SAF troops based on the text. But immediately, Your Honor, actually this is a continuing action. The ground commanders also were coordinating with the smallest unit we have, based on the pieces of informations that are coming in, they already starting to plan out on how to reinforce the SAF troops.
So, ulitin ko lang ha. Number one, I am not blaming the AFP. And I thank you for your service to the nation. Para sa akin, ang unang may kasalanan dito ay bakit kinukupkup ng MILF, BIFF, si Marwan at Usman. Kung hindi nangyari yan, walang namatay. Pangalawa, nagkaroon ng operasyon na. Nasabihan kayo alas 6 ng umaga. Humihingi ng tulong yung ating mga kapulisan. Na yung SAF sa pagkaintindi ko ay para sundalong pulis yan. No? At hindi naman bago itong TOT na to. Sa pagkaalam ko, kasi sa tingin natin ngayon dito, itong TOT, ngayon lang nangyayari. Eh, base sa pagkaalam ko, madalas pala mangyari yan.
Your Honor, actually po, ngayon lang nangyari yung sinasabi nilang TOT. Yan po. Wala po kaming tinatawag na TOT sa coordination sa amin within the armed forces. Ang TOT po ay ginagamit ng Air Force. At mas mahigit po, higit po siguro ang Air Force personnel kung paano nila i-explain ang TOT.
Okay. So gusto ko lang sabihin na Madam Chair na dahil kulang ang oras natin, kung maagang nakagalaw kayo nung umagang yun, ay palagay ko hindi ganun karami ang namatay. Yun ang gusto kong ilagay dito sa record ng ating sa Senado. No? Ngayon, ang tanong ko naman kay General Katapang at kay PDDG Espina, nalaman ninyo alas 5 rin ng umaga. Noong linggo, magkasama kayong dalawa, kung hindi ako nagkakamali, sa Zamboanga ng 9 ng umaga. O hindi ba kayo magkasama? Yes, DDG Espina. Were you together in Zamboanga?
No, sir. No, sir.
No, you were not together.
I was in Manila.
You were in Manila?
Yes.
Pero nag-uusap ba kayo nung umagang yun?
No, sir. I was talking...
Ni minsan,
No, sir.
DDG Espina, you
No, sir.
never spoke to General Katapang?
No, sir. I was talking to General Rusty Guerrero that morning. West Mincom Commander.
So, rumekta ka?
Yes, sir.
Okay. General Katapang, sabi dito ni PDG Purisima na sinabihan kayo ng umaga. Is that correct? 5, 6 in the morning?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Ano naman ang ginawa mo?
Nandun na po kami sa Zamboanga noon.
So you were in Zamboanga? Okay.
And then we were already coordinating directly with General Guerrero in as much as we were in Zamboanga for that visit of the President regarding the Zamboanga bombing. And
So you were on top of the situation as well?
yes, Your Honor.
Ang pagkaintindi ko sa lahat ng narration kasi dito, kahapon din, na ilang buwan nang pinag-uusapan din ninyo, you were in the loop from May to December tungkol sa operation na ito. Maybe not the final details, but it would appear to me that alam ninyo may mangyayari soon. Hindi kayo nag-preposition in this area na generally you have an idea of where this operation will be. And then on the day that you found out on the 25th of January, hindi man lang kayo nag-usap ni PDG Espina and to coordinate your activities.
Yes, Your Honor. Nag-coordinate po sila nung nagkakabakbaka na at hindi rin po namin alam yung target kung saan ba talaga yung plano nila.
Hindi nabanggit sa inyo na may grid coordinates na binigay din naman.
Ito pong grid coordinate na to, it's a location na maraming bagay na pag-aaralan po. Na,
Could you have fired white phosphorus at 6:18 a.m., which will not harm anyone, but could scare people away, which happened?
No, Your Honor.
You could not have fired the white
Because-
phosphorus?
Because there's a protocol, Your Honor, before you fire white phosphorus or even a live ammo. First, you must know the exact location of your friendly forces.
Well, there is a grid coordinate So that's a location.
But, Your Honor, we are not sure if we fired that white phosphorus or
Yes.
live ammunition.
So you're saying, in hindsight, there's nothing you could have done better.
Given this information, we started to plan, Your Honor. Because, very
Yung mga
important.
forces ng AFP doon sa area yon, ano yung radius? How many kilometers? Sa
They were-
pagkaintindi ko, malalapit lang kayong lahat eh.
Yes, Your Honor, but in as much as we
What
were
is the
not
radius? What is the radius?
5 kilometers, Your
5
Honor.
kilometers lang ang layo. In fact, sa report ninyo, naririnig yung putukan.
Yes, Your Honor, but
Wala kayong air asset doon?
we do not have air assets, Your
No
Honor.
air assets. Okay. I know my time is ending. Now, one last question. Ano ang role naman ng United States o ng FBI sa intelligence, sa planning, sa operation, sa extraction? Bakit ko tinatanong yan? Meron reward money. Meron nababanggit na mga drone. Meron chopper na dumating. Yung finger ni Marwan, yung index finger, dinala sa Gerald Santos, binigay sa FBI, ni hindi pa nakuha ng litrato ng PNP. Ayon sa salaysay kahapon.
Your Honor,
So
this-
anong, totoo ba may kinalaman dito ang US government or FBI, whatever it is? Pwede ba rin niya ipaliwanag sa amin from the intelligence to the extraction or maybe up to the yung finger, index finger na binigay?
Your Honor, we are very sorry to tell you that this is a PNP
Wala kayong alam
operation.
doon.
We do not
Okay.
know anything about
Yes.
it.
PDDG, Espina, could you just explain it to committee? Yes.
I have no personal knowledge on this, sir. I think, if I may respectfully refer it to Leo La Peña, sir. They were the ones who conducted the operation.
Yes, please.
Yes, Your Honor. Nung mga bandang hapon, tanghali, na nag-uumaga na yung, Your Honor, yung nag-umpisa yung encounter, then we were receiving reports na may mga casualties yung umaga na yon. I took the initiative na humingi ng tulong doon sa US forces based doon sa Zamboanga to provide us medical evacuation using their helicopter. Because we were then expecting in the afternoon, paggagabi na maiwi-withdraw yung mga sugatan na nandoon sa area. This is in connection with the ongoing continued exercises that we have with the U.S. forces in the fight against terrorism. And they have their own protocol to provide medical evacuation sa mga na-involved na kapulisan natin in the operations against terrorism, Your Honor.
Madam Chair, just on General Peñas, did the FBI know beforehand about these operations?
Your Honor, I have no knowledge if the FBI know about this operation earlier.
Or any U.S. Armed Forces personnel, did they know about this operation beforehand?
It was already during the time that we are receiving information and report that there was casualties that I requested our contact with the U.S. Armed Forces that if they could provide us medical evacuation.
So
Your Honor.
your non-disclosure to the U.S. personnel is part of your operational security aspect.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, General Purisima, did that operational security include the non-disclosure of this operation to the Secretary of the DILG, the Secretary of National Defense, and to General Espina?
Your Honor,
Answer yes or no, please. Did the matter of operational security issue did that prevent you from also informing the SILG, DND, and General Espina?
Your Honor, that time I was already suspended, and I know that I was giving advice to the Director.
Yes, you gave the advice, do not inform Rojas and Espina. The question is that part of operational security?
That is part of operational security, Your Honor.
So you did not trust the operational security responsibility of these two gentlemen who are your superiors?
That is stated already, sir, in the plan of the Special Action Force that everybody will be informed time on target, Your Honor.
Was it in the operational plan? Did the operational plan include not informing Rojas, Gasmin, and Espina? Is there anything in the operational plan which says that?
I do not know, Your Honor, but in the...
What do you mean you do not know? Come on.
Your Honor, the plan was presented. It was already discussed with us, with the Director SAF, and everything
Okay,
for
discussed with
operational...
you.
Yes, the operational security will be time on target.
Right. And because of that operational security, you made a judgment that Rojas and Espina should not be informed.
That is not a judgment, Your Honor.
What is that? Is that in your plan?
That is, no, Your Honor. That is only an advice to Director SAF.
I give up.
Senate President.
Yeah,
I have,
Madam Chair.